Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on the HermitCraft server. Guys, we are going to be taking a look at some things that I've done over the last couple of days to our house here. And then we're going to jump into a project for today. But yeah, the outside looks basically like it did where we last left off. I haven't really done anything to the exterior. And then we did have this landing that we put in last episode. Haven't done anything else to this bottom floor yet. Just got a bed and that kind of stuff. This is gonna come with time. Was trying out like maybe some molding or whatever, just to see if I like that or not. Probably gonna undo this, but I was just trying some things here. But it was suggested that we could put our stairs, move it from where we had over here where we went up, and then we had to like go back around and then up again to move the stair over here. And I like this idea. It kind of gives us a landing more of a purpose. We got some nice windows that we can view out before we head upstairs, right? And the other stairs that we had here previously just kind of lined up perfectly. So I ended up making this into an enclosed staircase. Yeah, so I kind of like this. We got a little light here at the top of the stairs where we can enter the second floor, the main floor. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, I've started to do a little bit of decoration here, trying these new, what are these things called? The oak shelves for kind of a crown molding, a trim, however you want to describe that. We added some bushes in here and yeah, some shelving, some candles, a little bit of painting action. I think this place is starting to come alive. It's starting to look pretty good, if I do say so myself. Now, I have never been really good at interior decorating, and that's one of the things that I wanted to try and work on this season. Well, not just interior decorating, but just building in general and getting better at that. And so this is some of the first steps into that. I would say it's okay. There's definitely some things that I would change in here, but as far as it is right now, I think we're doing pretty good. Still got some work down this way to figure that out, but this little section's looking okay. And then, yeah, we got the stairs going up to our storage, which we saw last time. We put these little pillars at the end just to kind of like have something to stop our chests and to kind of like separate that from the rest of this area. I had oak planks in there previously, but then I decided it would make sense to just kind of hide some crafting tables in there. So if we want to do a little bit of crafting, we have those without having to actually see the crafting tables and their textures. You can kind of see them through the trapdoor, the holes or whatever, but it's better. On this side, we do have an ender chest, so we have access to all of our ender chesty stuff that we might need. And then I decided to go with signs to label our chests. I was going to do the item frames. I have them here somewhere. I made a bunch of these things. I was gonna do item frames. I was gonna like, I guess I can't really plop them on here. There's not enough, there's no space for that. Anyway, the problem is you put the item frame down, you put something in it, and then like you try and click on the chest, but because the chest isn't a full block, it's slightly smaller. Like you don't have a lot of hitbox to actually try and open the chest. And I kept just rotating the item as I was trying to open, and that was just getting annoying. So yeah, we decided to skip out on the item frames, just go with signs for now until I come up with like some kind of a better method. But I think that's gonna work just fine. So yeah, we got things kind of sorted here. You know, like potions, we got weird stuff, we got villager blocks, mob drops, heads that we've collected so far. Got a lot of blank chests, but we got a lot of room for expansion. Yeah, dripstone. I don't know if that needs a full chest with this amount of stuff, but maybe we'll have a lot of dripstone in the future. Just trying to separate things and kind of make it easy to find what we're looking for. Stone, this might end up being broken out into like cobblestone and stone and maybe even stone brick at some point. Then we got like all the different other types of stones and so on and so forth. Yep, I think we're looking pretty okay. This might even be expanded out into like different wood varieties at some point in the future as well. And then I added some furnaces over here so I didn't have to keep going over to the villager area every time we needed to smelt something. That was getting a little annoying. And one of the suggestions I saw was to open up and have like a way that we could fly in and out of the house. So I took out the window and the couple of stairs there, and now we have a way in and out using an elytra. It's kind of like a safe way to get into the house since monsters can't spawn up here anywhere or inside. Yeah, I think that's going to work out pretty well for us. Seems like Mumbo's having a rough time right now, dang. Yeah, so with all the moving and stuff, I was actually removing these chests and I was gonna take these furnaces, but then they left like a weird hole here, and I just kind of felt like if we needed storage for things like emeralds and stuff over at our villager area, it just kind of made sense to leave these here. We don't have anything stored in here. Maybe we'll eventually store like our carrots and wheat and beetroot and all that kind of stuff over here. We'll just have like bigger storage for that. And then if we need to smelt anything, I just left these furnaces here. I don't see us needing to, but maybe. Who knows? But yeah, it got me thinking after I did that moving. We have our melons and we got our pumpkins automated over here, which is super cool. But we don't have like our other crops automated. And you can do that. Not with redstone, unfortunately. I would love to be able to set up like a dispenser, for instance, and have a dispenser dispense a carrot and plant it onto tilled soil and then have like water wash it all away and do it all redstone-y. But unfortunately, we can't do that in the game at this time. But what we can do, we can use villagers to do this for us. Villagers, if you set them up to be farmers, like our trading guys over here, these guys, they love to harvest crops. Yeah, then you can utilize their AI, if that's what you want to call it, in order to toss that to another villager when they're trying to breed in the morning or late in the day, and then use something like a hopper minecart to catch that so they don't actually transfer the food to each other. Yeah, so it's a good way to automate this kind of stuff, and I think that is what I'm going to look at doing. But the problem is, we don't really have any room over here to really do what I want. On the other side of that wall is basically the outside of the mountain where we are right now. And yeah, I don't really want to like deal with making this mountain bigger. In fact, I'd rather make it smaller. So what I'm going to end up doing, I think, is we're going to move our villager breeder. It seems to me we have a hallway here, right? So we have a hallway that leads into the villager area, but then we just have a villager breeder right here, unfortunately. Like the villager trading stuff, this is fine. It's not in the way. But what I think I want to do is kind of like take this whole thing, well, I guess the villager containment area and this room, and kind of bring it down this way. So we kind of just like rotate this 90 degrees that way, right? So like these things will be down here, but they would all, like the villager babies would still flow to the same spot. That way we can open this up and have like a hallway continue down this particular path. And we can utilize this space here for like carrots and this space over here for potatoes, and have our villagers just automatically harvest and collect that stuff for us. That will allow us to trade carrots and pumpkins and melons to these guys, making more emeralds per day. Yeah, these guys reset twice per day, right? So you can only trade with them so many times, but you can trade like all of these things if you have everything to collect emeralds during that time before they reset, right? So the more things that we have, the better, the more emerald per villager we can get, the more emeralds per day we can have, right? So to me, it makes a lot of sense to do that. So, man, Mumbo, hope he's okay over there. Yeah, to me, that makes a lot of sense. So that's what I'm going to start working on, is we're going to move our villagers. We're going to rotate this stuff, and then we're going to set up, hopefully, a spot here for carrots and potatoes. All right, everybody. So some time has passed since that last clip, and we ended up getting things done around here. So as you can see, we do have carrots being generated over here. We got ourselves a farmer villager, and we got ourselves potatoes on this side, and we got ourselves another farmer villager who can go around and collect these potatoes. So this is looking pretty good. This is kind of what I had envisioned here. And then we were able to move our villager breeder as I was talking about. So yeah, instead of it being down that way, we kind of just shifted it over here. So we got our two villagers waiting to be given some food so they can make babies. We got our beds over here, so when the babies are born, they try and walk to the bed to claim one. They fall down. They get washed over into this area here where we have some just kind of like chilling, waiting to be used for something. But yeah, this is working pretty well. It's kind of what I had envisioned here. So we have nice viewing area of our villagers that are automatically harvesting our carrots and our potatoes. We can go into the back and kind of see what's going on back here. So, maybe it'd be better if I just go into free cam a little bit so we can kind of see better. So yeah, we have a villager back here on a bed, sleeps at night, and when night's over, because it's at the foot of the bed, it's only got this one block that it can land on, so the bed ejects the villager right there. And the villager is actually on top of a hopper. So it's in the center of the hopper, actually lower than the block, and he doesn't want to move at all. Yeah, doesn't have enough room to like get out of here. This is a half slab, right? So it's only like 1.5 blocks. He doesn't think he can move. So he just chills right there on top of this hopper minecart. During the morning, this villager will try and toss some food to this guy so they can do some breeding. And the hopper minecart is very greedy and it snatches that food before the villager can get it. And then it goes into the hopper below the hopper minecart there. We have a hopper chain that just kind of goes around the perimeter of this farm underneath these blocks here. And it ends up down here. You can see behind the chest we have just, you know, these hoppers back here. And yeah, all the carrots that they collect end up in these chests here. I put in a lot of chests. This is actually quite a lot compared to how fast these guys grab this crop or whatever. I kind of feel like we want large storage for in the future. Maybe we want to bulk trade a lot and get a whole bunch of emeralds. The other side is exactly the same way. We got some potatoes here. These guys do not grab poisonous potatoes. These are from when I was harvesting crops manually in our other crop field. So no, leave the poisonous potatoes on the ground from what I have seen when they harvest. There's none there now, but yeah, I've just seen poisonous potatoes just chilling on the ground over here. So yeah, unfortunately with this setup, you never get the poisonous potatoes. So I guess you got to harvest those manually if you need those for any reason at all. But yeah, this is working rather well, and I'm very pleased with the way this turned out. Just added in some extra lighting in here. We had issues where like the back corners weren't growing, so I just put in some lanterns above. That lantern's directly above this thing, so the villager can't jump up on top of it. Yeah, overall, I'd say this is looking like I had imagined. All right, so if you're fast enough, and it is the right time of day, and you got the correct villager, I think it's past their trading time right now, so we'd only be able to trade the one time at this point. But if you're fast enough, you should be able to get a decent amount of emeralds from these guys. Do the carrots next. We'll do pumpkins, and then we'll do our melons. Okay, so one trade, that's 56 emeralds from this one villager for the one trade. Normally you can do 2 trades per day, right? So that is quite a amount of emerald to get from one villager. And that's if you have the carrot and the potato trades, and then you have the pumpkin and the melon trades as well, right? So not a whole lot of melons being used, not a whole lot of pumpkins being used either. It does use a whole lot of carrot and potato, so it'd probably make a lot of sense if we got these guys zombified and then cured. These guys are completely, yeah, these are just the natural prices of these villagers right now. So it's a little expensive. I don't actually know how much cheaper it is when we zombify. Like, obviously it's not as crazy as it used to be where you get it down to 1 item per emerald. But yeah, we have a couple of villagers over here. Like, this guy wants beetroot, which is okay, but again, you only get like 1 beetroot per harvest per plant, so like getting this is really slow. And if you have one that wants wheat, for instance, this is kind of a bad trade as well. If you have one that wants wheat, it's just as bad as the beetroot. So we might end up getting rid of this guy at some point. So one other thing that I did do is our villagers in here. These guys have carrot potato trade as well. So we can do trading with these guys. This guy doesn't actually have the pumpkin trade. He's got pumpkin pie, unfortunately, or the apple, one of the two, instead of the pumpkin trade. So he's not that great, but we have another source of getting rid of the carrots and potatoes. Same with this guy over here. Take a look at you. You got carrot potato, but no pumpkin as well. It's kind of weird. Yeah, the pumpkin trade is one of those ones that is very useful, but you don't get it all of the time. These were we were just putting down the composter until we saw both the carrot and potato, and we started trading with them. And yeah, the next trade is unavailable until like you unlock it and you have no idea what it's going to be. And unfortunately, they were the bad ones, and I don't want to keep like replacing our villagers in there. So yeah, it is what it is. It's just another source of trading carrots and potatoes, I guess, at this point, but they are not the perfect villager. So our other ones that we are using for the emeralds, specifically these 4 down here, we will probably, like, this guy's fine, this guy is fine, these 2, yeah, don't have the carrot and potato here, so we might end up getting rid of these guys and replacing them at some point, I think. All right, so getting back to the house over here, I was doing a little bit of stuff, trying to figure out what I wanted to change in here. You can see we added in some dark oak. Yep. So I was trying this out. I was thinking maybe like all the different door frames, we could have like a different color here. So I added some dark oak, and then I started adding it over here, trying to see how that would work, kind of like frame this in a little bit, maybe make this kind of like an accent wall kind of a deal. And then I tried adding it to this door frame that leads to the outside. Unfortunately, I don't think that looked very good because that block is exposed to the outside of the building. Yeah, so like from out here, whatever, you'd see like the darker color, and I thought that just kind of looked a little odd, so I kind of backtracked on that and restored it back to its normal stripped oak. But yeah, this I'm trying for a little bit. You can't see this from anywhere else. You can't see it from outside, you can't see it from the other levels or whatever. So we're trying that, and I added some on this side over here. And then I decided to start working on the unfinished portion of this floor. We added in, well, I guess this was unfinished over here as well. Added in just some stairs, kind of like some seating area. I think those are up there. Just put in some 1x2 paintings, and then had like a little dining area, or I guess, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, just a little place to sit with a table, maybe play some cards or something. Added some paintings over here as well. So like this section feels pretty well complete now, kind of like the way that's looking. Over on this side, just added in some seating in front of the windows. It kind of made sense. Added in one of these pots. Whoops. Well, now I removed the pot. Added in one of these decorated pots here. Put a flower in the flower pot above it, so it kind of looks like it's just one big flower pot kind of a deal. Added in another bush armor stand. Add some flappers here, just to kind of like put something else up against the wall. Another table with a light on it. We needed some light over here, and I didn't want to have just a torch in the middle of the floor, so kind of made sense to me. A little bit more seating over here so we can kind of look out the window and, you know, just kind of like a chill area. Had another blank wall here. Wasn't quite sure what to do, so I put some 1x1, a 2x1, and then a 1x1 painting here. And then I was like, what are we gonna do along the bottom? We already got lots of upside down stairs. Let's do something else. So I threw some buttons down here. This is kind of like a different sort of a texture, different decoration. They don't do anything. They're just there for looks. But yeah, I think overall, I think this is looking pretty okay. There's probably still some more tweaks that we can do to this, but for a first pass, it's definitely better than what it was, right? It looks like there's stuff here, and that is what's important to me. This I'm gonna sit on for a little bit. I'm not sold on it completely, the dark stripped oak instead of the regular stripped oak here. We might keep it, I might revert it back, but it's definitely a little bit something different than like all the stripped oak in one location and one wall. So yeah, we'll keep it here for a little bit. Maybe it'll grow on us, maybe I'll revert it. We'll see over time. So I don't think I mentioned it before, but where we set up the villager trading stuff, all of that was done on stream. Also on stream, I collected a beacon. The reason why I have done that is because I think we're reaching the point where we need to expand out. I mean, we can still do some more interior decorating, but that's not going to be the main focus of our videos, right? Like, it's something I definitely want to get done. But yeah, there is a lot of things that I want to do around here, starting into like our main projects or whatever. This area is quite hilly. And I think we've talked about it before, how it's kind of like this area feels a little separated from the other sections. Like if we expand out, we just kind of like are wrapped around with these hills here. So if I want to do anything else over here, like this is fine. We can kind of flatten this out a little bit. But if we want to do anything out going this way, like there's a lot of hills we got to deal with. So I kind of felt that getting a beacon now makes sense. So we can, if we need to, terraform, flatten, or if we just need to go and grab stone for building, we can do that. That's another reason why I wanted to get the emeralds online, is so we can make ourselves a beacon base. We now have enough emeralds where we can do a beacon base, which is super cool. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling like leveling this would make sense. It'll make this more usable, especially if we decide to go with a bigger style base, which I'm kind of thinking that we will. These are plans that I kind of have an idea in my head. I don't have anything fleshed out at the exact moment here, but I kind of am leaning towards a certain style, and we will see if that can actually happen here or not. But we definitely won't be able to with these hills. So we're going to have to think about removing some of these in the future. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to fall into the same trap that I've done before, where I just like level everything and then try and build. I think I'm going to come up with the design, figure out where it's going to go, and then excavate around that site so it makes sense. I kind of want to leave some of the natural terrain around and not just have it all like flat, right? But we can't have it all hilly and have like a big build in the same spot. So yeah, I'm going to try and take it a little bit easier this time and not just flatten everything before I like come up with what we're going to build. I think it's just going to make more sense that way. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Sorry this one was a little bit later than the normal. Trying to do like at least one a week. But yeah, we had the holidays and laziness, and you know how it goes. Anyway, that's it. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.